Gospel, Mark 13:33-37. Jesus said to his disciples, "Be watchful, be alert. You do not know when the time will come." It is like a man going on a journey who leaves his house and puts his servants in charge, each with his assigned task, and tells the doorkeeper to be on the watch. Watch, therefore. You do not know when the master of the house is coming, whether in the evening or at midnight or at cockcrow or in the morning. May he not come suddenly and find you sleeping. What I say to you, I say to all, watch. Today's gospel reminds us that Advent is not just about counting down days, but about cultivating attentiveness in our hearts. Jesus speaks with urgency. Be watchful, be alert. I imagine myself as one of the disciples hearing these words, feeling both a sense of caution and hope. Life moves quickly, and the ordinary rhythms often lull us into spiritual sleep. The world is filled with distractions, noise, and busyness that pull my attention away from God. Yet Jesus invites me to pause, to focus, to remain alert. The analogy of the man going on a journey, leaving servants in charge, resonates with me. Each of us has a role, a responsibility, a task to carry out faithfully. And the doorkeeper's vigilance becomes a symbol for the watchfulness required of my own heart. It is a call to awaken, to prepare, and to take ownership of my spiritual life. Watching and waiting, as Jesus teaches, is not passive. It is active engagement with God's presence in daily life. I reflect on how often I go through routines without truly noticing the gifts around me. Each small encounter, each moment of prayer, each act of kindness becomes an opportunity to be alert. I realize that Advent is a season that trains me to see God in the ordinary, to recognize His signs in the everyday. Even in mundane tasks, there is room for vigilance, for love, for discernment. To watch is to choose awareness over apathy. It is to align my actions with purpose. It is to guard my heart against distractions that steal peace and joy. It is to open my eyes to God's coming, even when it seems delayed. And it is to trust that God's timing is perfect. The Gospel's imagery of evening, midnight, cockcrow, and morning reminds me that God can arrive in unexpected moments. Life is unpredictable, and God's presence often comes when I least expect it. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in a gentle whisper. Other times powerfully, through events that shake me to my core. Jesus warns that sudden arrival should not find me unprepared or spiritually asleep. I imagine what it means to be caught unaware, to be unready to receive grace. The thought challenges me to examine my priorities, to evaluate what I carry in my heart, and to release what distracts me from God. It calls me to vigilance, not anxiety, attentiveness, not fear. Each moment becomes an opportunity to ready myself, to align my life with God's will, to nurture spiritual readiness. This awareness transforms my perception of time, making each day sacred. Being a servant entrusted with a task also speaks to responsibility and stewardship. God places gifts, opportunities, and relationships in my care. I am called to attend to them faithfully, with love and attentiveness. Spiritual vigilance includes caring for the lives of others, not just my own salvation. How am I stewarding my relationships, my resources, my time, my talents? The gospel asks me to live intentionally, with an eye toward eternity, without neglecting the present. Waiting is not passive. It is active cultivation of love, generosity, and service. Each action I take prepares the way for Christ in my life and the lives of those around me. The vigilance Jesus asks for is holistic, encompassing heart, mind, and deeds. And it is grounded in trust that God will fulfill His promises. Prayer is essential in maintaining this watchfulness. I am reminded that vigilance is not only external, but deeply internal, rooted in communion with God. Daily prayer keeps my heart attentive and my spirit alive. Without it, I risk spiritual lethargy, losing sight of the signs of God's work in the world. Prayer sharpens perception, strengthens resolve, and cultivates hope. It enables me to remain alert, even amid life's chaos, anxieties, and distractions. It helps me discern the subtle ways God comes into my life and calls me to action. Through prayer, I am reminded that God's presence is constant, even when invisible. It is both a shield against spiritual sleep and a guide toward readiness. Prayer transforms waiting into active preparation, anticipation, and joy. Advent is a season of hope, expectation, and preparation, and Jesus' words remind me that readiness is a daily choice. I cannot postpone vigilance or entrust it to chance. The call to watch is universal. What I say to you, I say to all. It is a challenge and an invitation to live deliberately, with hearts attuned to God's movement. I reflect on the ways I prepare, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, for Christ's coming. Am I mindful of the needs of those around me? Am I open to God's guidance in each decision I make? Am I aware of the opportunities for mercy, forgiveness, and love that present themselves every day? Vigilance transforms my perspective, helping me see life as a journey toward Christ. It reminds me that readiness is not merely an Advent practice, but a lifelong discipline. Finally, I am inspired by the hope embedded in this gospel. Vigilance does not lead to fear, but to joy, anticipation, and peace. Standing ready to welcome Christ allows me to live fully, intentionally, and with purpose. Each day becomes an opportunity to encounter God in small ways, to prepare my heart, and to act in love. Jesus' call to watch is a call to awaken my soul, to embrace the present moment, and to anticipate the fullness of His coming. I pray for grace to remain alert, attentive, and faithful. May my heart be ready, my spirit vigilant, and my actions reflective of Christ's love. And when the Master comes, may I greet Him with joy, faithfulness, and a heart fully prepared. Amen.